Hey everyone, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and today I want to take a look at the Virdescent Hunt, which is the Battle Pass bow. Now I just picked this up, and I leveled up to level 70, and I'm going to use it with Venti and see how good, I mean, it looks really good on him. Like, this bow literally looks like it was meant for Venti. Like, it just goes well with his outfit and stuff. So, if you don't know what the Virdescent Hunt does, upon hit, normal, and aim shots, it will have a 50% chance to generate a Cyclone. And this works well with Venti, considering he fires off, like, multiple two-shot arrows every time you do a left click. So the chances of you hitting it is very quickly, is very fast. So that's nice. And it'll generate a Cyclone. Now, a Cyclone isn't that big. It's a small. It's not like when you think of a Cyclone as in this guy, the main character's ult. It's not, on that level of the Gust Surge where it puts a giant Cyclone and they spin up in the air. No, it's kind of like a mini black hole, except it's not as good as his ult, of course. No way. But it deals 40% of, Venti's attack or whoever's bow user's attack you have on it as attack damage to these opponents every 0.5 seconds for 4 seconds, and it can happen every 14 seconds. So, basically, you can pop Venti's ult, do switch to your DPS, and then come back into Venti, of course, pop his E's, keep his Q on, fast cooldown, and then you could just keep basically enemy CC'd almost infinitely. Not forever. I mean, there's probably obviously going to be some downtime. Not every enemy is going to be stuck in one spot at all times. There's no way. It would be too overpowered. So the bow's really good, so we're going to take it into some Spiral Abyss and see how it does with Venti. Now, my Venti is only level 70, so his stats aren't the greatest, plus my artifacts aren't leveled up all the way, and I did give him 4-piece Virdescent Veneer, so he should be doing some good damage with his ult and stuff. But obviously this is not a, completely maxed out Venti, so don't be looking at the attack as much. I want you guys to be looking at just the CC and the amount of crowd control that Venti is able to put out with his ult combined with the bow. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so we're here against the floor 9 chamber first half. So as you can see, if you look on the bottom, this is the little hole that the Virdescent Hunt will create on top of that. So, I mean, it's something small, and obviously, it's going to be on cooldown, and you're just going to be able to, keep enemies CC'd for a lot longer. So if we go ahead and start this off here, so we're going to go ahead and pop Venti's ult. Alright. We're going to go ahead and pop his E, do some extra damage. We're going to go ahead and swap to Child, pop his Q. Keep her going. And then go ahead and pull them together with Venti. There you go. There's the Virdescent Hunt clicking into place. So now, as I said, don't be looking at the damage too much. The damage isn't really a focus here. It's more or less a focus on the CC overall. So here we go again. We have more slimes. Just bring them all together. Go ahead, keep popping all this stuff. There we go. And not bad. Now that is obviously floor 9, it's not floor 11 or floor 12, but the reason being is my Venti is on the lower level, so we'll get into floor 9 chamber 2, and we'll see how he does there. Alright, so let me go ahead and use Venti's ult here, and just go pop in the middle. There we go. Get the Hydro buff going there, go ahead and slam the sword. And then we're going to go ahead and bring them all together again with the Virdescent Veneer. And then keep attacking them, of course. Switch to Child as our main DPS, since we know Venti's is on cooldown for now. Pop the ult again. Apply the Electro buff. Apply some water in there. Pop them up. And then go ahead and... Obviously, the CC is not going to work because there's only one person there, so it's not going to be that much of an impact. But there it is again, as we can show it off, I guess. Go ahead and pop this guy off with Child. Gonna wait for these guys to spawn. Go ahead and launch off another ult. We get him with the ice effect. Go ahead and CC him again. 28,000 with Badu. 31,000 with Child. And I mean, we're keeping this guy pretty CC'd. So I mean, the entire team is just, it really works well together, especially with, you know, Venti, of course, in our back line, just doing work. Alright, well, that was a pretty impressive showing from Venti, so we'll go ahead and take him into the final Floor 9 Chamber 3, and we'll see how good he does in that. We're going to go ahead and kill this mage. There we go. Alright, so we're here in the final chamber with Venti, and we're going to see how well he does against... So obviously, the final chamber with Venti here, he's not going to be super effective, because this is more or less a fight meant for DPS, and they kind of like cancel out CC entirely, especially this big guy. He doesn't really get CC'd much. But we can CC this guy, and you can see that, you know, it's not that good, but it's still something. So we could drag him into this, drag them both together. Go ahead, pop that, and go ahead and apply that again. So he's just a little extra damage. Now, obviously, it isn't much, but it is something, of course. It's still better than nothing. We'll go ahead and pop his ult one more time. Pop this again. And I think that is a dead big boss. So, I mean, overall, this bow it's pretty good. Its purpose that it has, especially as a minion killer, it's kind of like that's its purpose, really, is just to kill the minions. So I think, you know, the Virdescent Veneer plus Venti, it's infinite CC, basically, depending on the enemies you're fighting. Now, as you can see, those enemies we just last fought, they were not meant for CC. Those enemies basically cancel out CC, especially the big guy that we had to fight there. So, you know, it wasn't as effective. But, of course, we showed when he fights smaller enemies and those smaller adds, you know, the Virdescent Veneer plus just Venti's natural ability to be a ridiculous unit makes that bow really useful for him. So we're done with the Spiral Abyss. Let's go ahead and hop into another event, and we'll see how it does there. Alright, so I'm here with Venti against a Crimson Wish. So we're going to see how well he does. Now, obviously, he's only going to be able to CC 3 of these guys. But as you can see, Virdescent Veneer gets them together, and we're just going to be able to cut these guys clean to shreds with Child. Go ahead and keep doing more damage. Now, obviously, his on still cooldown, so it's not going to be adding that swirl effect right now, but we should be able to launch off Venti's ult right about now. And we should kill this guy since he's going to get sucked into the black hole of death. And that's that done. And as you can see, even though we didn't use Venti's ult, we still got them in the middle, and we were still able to clean them up with Child, considering they were CC'd for about 4 seconds. So, yeah, pretty nice bow. So overall, that's going to do it for today's video. Now, the Virdescent Hunt, as you can see, is very ridiculous, especially when it's paired with Venti, a unit who really, really excels in the crowd control part of the game. So yeah, as I said, this bow, it's basically Venti's best friend. If you use it well, there's probably better bows people have out there. Someone's going to argue with me in the comments about how it's not his best bow. But I think it pairs really well with him. It also looks really nice with him. It goes really well with his outfit. It's basically meant for him, almost. And I think that's going to do it. So this is also a Refinement Rank 1 Virdescent Hunt. And let me go ahead and check, see what its refinement... Does it get any higher? Okay, so actually, if you play this correctly, and if it's actually Refinement Rank 5, I think it's going to be, what, 9 seconds? So basically, you're going to have infinite CC at that point. Now, this is obviously Refinement Rank 1, so it's not going to be, you know... It's not going to be consistently there at all times, but it will be there about 80%, 70% of the time, especially since you're going to be launching out his ult back and forth, and everyone's going to be CC'd together. There'll probably be like a 5-second, 6-second downtime, but you could probably manage with that, considering how good this bow is. So, I mean, that's going to do it. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace out.